This video contains elements that are not suitable for children under the age of 14. Viewer discretion is advised. Hey guys, Shawn Fay-Wolfe of Diamond Studios Music here, and I guess this was, bound to happen. I said last week that I wasn't going to do a reaction video because there were only 2 songs and I wanted to react to at least 3. So I figured that this week there would be like another, maybe 2 or 3 songs to react to, so I could react to 4 or 5. That's like a nice round number. But then, of course, one of the biggest pop stars in the world happens to drop an album bomb, so now that the charts are completely flooded with Weeknd songs, I have 7 songs to react to this week. Now, I've actually decided I'm going to be splitting this video into 2 parts because of that. And there are a couple reasons for that. First of all is because it's just more convenient. Rather than having one big long video, you can just go watch part 1 and part 2 separately. Also, that means that there is a smaller chance that for copyright strikes, if you play 7 songs in the same video, then there's a pretty good chance that that's going to get struck down by the copyright bots. And so that's why it's very, that's another reason, if you only have 3 songs in the video, that has less of a chance than if you have 7. And on top of that, I'm also going to be editing the videos a little bit. I'm going to be muting the sound, and I'm going to be blurring the videos. It's not going to be unrecognizable. You guys will still be able to hear it, but hopefully that's going to do enough to fool the bots in order to, in order to not have that be an issue anymore. So, and for those of you who do like watching along, then I'm sorry that I can't play the unedited video for you. I wish I could, because I'm sure that falls under fair use. It's questionable for like movies and stuff in my opinion, but for music, you're not going to go to someone's reaction video to, just watch the song casually. You can just, the songs are only a couple minutes long. You go to the official YouTube channel if you want to watch that, or one of the countless unofficial lyric videos, which for some reason are allowed to stay up, even though my reaction videos are constantly struck down. So those are all the changes that I'm doing this week. I know that was a big info dump right there, and I know you guys just want to see some reactions, so let me give you that. Let's hop to it, and, let's start. Alright, for the first song of the week, we have one that's actually from last week. It, just scraped into the bottom of the top 40 last week, and it's actually climbed a little bit more since then. That being Powerglide by Sremmurd and Juicy J. Now, Sremmurd, in terms of, like, I feel like they're kind of like the progenitors of the whole, like, SoundCloud rap explosion that's going on right now. They're not exactly in the same style, but they've been around for a couple of years now, and they've just kind of been... They're in that style, people who are just like things that, what's the best words to describe Sremmurd? I don't know. I like Black Beatles. I'll say that much. They have, and I like Sway Lee on Unforgettable. I thought he did a very good job there, but other than that, I just have not really found much appealing about Sremmurd at all, and I know that I'm in the majority opinion on that one. They seem to be one of the most, I guess, like, low-key hated groups the past few years. Not someone who you, like, actively get outraged at, but there's someone that just, like, makes you, I guess every time you remember that they exist, you just roll your eyes a little bit because you just remember about that. But like I said, it seems like they're, they are kind of, they were, like, one of the first people on a style that's growing more and more, unfortunately. And they're teamed up with Juicy J on this one. I really don't know anything about Juicy J. I think he was the one that was on Dark Horse by Katy Perry, if I'm remembering that correctly. I think I am, but I don't know. And that is the extent of my Juicy J knowledge. And the only reason I even know that was because I watched the Todd in the Shadows review where he talked about how washed up he was. And that was in 2014, so here we are 4 years later, and back in the top 40 again, so, I'm not, don't have high expectations for that, but who knows. Sremmurd has surprised me in the past. Like I said, I do like Black Beatles, and Sway Lee in particular. I've, on Unforgettable, and there was something else he was on, too. I forget what it was, but I think that of the 2, he's the one that I prefer more. He's a bit more generic, but, compared to what they usually do, that's still a net gain. Powerglide by Sremmurd and Juicy J. Sremmurd and Juicy J. 3, 2, 1. It's a cool visual, I'll give you that.
Yeah. Like, will
Oh, Mike Will made it. Always something. Or nothing. One of the two. You know what this beat is reminding me of? You remember that song, what was it called? Remember the Name by Fort Major. Yeah, this beat, that's what that beat reminds me of. Remember the Name by Fort Major. The song was, I was obsessed with that song when I was 10 years old after I saw it in the Karate Kid remake. I thought that Karate Kid remake with Jaden Smith actually wasn't bad at all, I didn't think. Actually, saw it again recently, I thought it was good. I like this though. I really like the beat to that, and I'm liking the beat to this too. I want that car. I know nothing about cars, but I want that car. Okay, like I said, it's not out of the possibility for Rae Sremmurd to surprise me, and this is... I'm liking this, guys. This is... It's amazing how much better Rae Sremmurd sounds if they actually have, like, a beat behind them. Like, note type and swaying is just, like, so limp and, like, nothing beats. But you get this, which is just... Is this, like, a sample? Is this just like a straight up sample of Remember the Name? Because it certainly sounds like it could be. This is... I mean, I don't really have like a ton of in-depth analysis for this one. It's I mean, I like the beat. I made that very clear, apparent, and Rae Sremmurd's doing fine too. I still don't know them well enough to tell the two of them apart. I think that's Sway. I'm not sure, but yeah, the other thing about this song is I was kind of wondering what I was going to say about this, because the song is not short. The song's 5.5 minutes long, which is, I think it's a little bit too long for a song like this. I think these songs should probably peak out at 4 minutes. Okay, yeah, that's the one that's not Sway Lee, I can tell that much. Wonder what why am I having so much trouble saying his name? What is Juicy J gonna do? I still haven't seen him yet. So like with that Slim Jixme guy or whatever his name is, what he's doing, that would be like so unbelievably annoying if it didn't have that beat below it. But that's just like, I want to find out who produced this. That's right, Mike Will made it produce this, didn't I? I used to despise Mike Will made it, but he's made like a good number of beats that I actually like. Alright, hey there, GCJ, what are you gonna do? Okay, you're gonna be boring. Okay, that's I mean, it's not bad or anything, but this is nothing. It's kind of weird to hear an older guy like that going over a beat this, a beat like this. You know that someone's pretty generic when I'm saying, okay, I think I'm about done with you. We can go back to Rae Sremmurd now. It's a cool music video too. And it's not like anything special or anything, but it's for what this song is, that's like, it fits thematically, I say. And this is a good name for this song too, Powerglide. Whenever I think of Powerglide, I think of the boost you get from drifting in Mario Kart, because that just tells you the type of person I am, the one who could listen to this song and think of Mario Kart. But yeah, that's I could totally see... I would be completely fine with this sticking around. This is like... I actually might even find myself returning to this, because that was a good beat. That was a really good beat. Definitely didn't need to be 5.5 minutes long, I will say that much. But at the same time, I was not... I was expecting myself to get bored like I was when I listened to that XXX Tentacle Hentai song that last week. Whatever it was, the Moonlight. That one, I was just like praying for it. Stop, 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 stop. I am so sick of this. But this one was just like, I was like thoroughly just like, yeah, I was good with this the whole time. It was even like nodding my head a bit. It sounds like something that'd be awesome to blast in your car, by the way. Yeah, Powerglide by Ray Sremmurd and GCJ. Very solid. I like that one. Alright, up next we have the biggest debut from last week, that being In My Blood by Shawn Mendes at 22, which has since fallen down to 31, I think it was, which is really strange because Shawn Mendes songs typically have a tendency to stick around for a bit, which is because Shawn Mendes is just like, you know, he's just like a radio darling at this point, because he seems like the type of person who was just like handpicked to fill airtime on the radio, and honestly, you know, he sounds like that. He just sounds like, you know, teen icon, the teen icon, honestly. And I've seen, like, so many, like, you know, maybe it's just because I'm older now, so I don't have to deal with them in person anymore, but I kind of thought that the whole fervor over, like, you know, the teenage boys, like, back in the days of Justin Bieber and One Direction, I kind of thought that was over, which I guess that was kind of stupid of me to think. But every time I go to a, what's-his-face, a Shawn Mendes video, I just see so many, you know, so many teenage girls just like losing themselves over him, because he's just like so cute and so nice and so hot and all that. And I see that and I'm just like, I mean, yeah, he does seem like a nice enough guy. That is one thing I'll say over Justin Bieber. Shawn Mendes does seem to be someone who, at the very least, comes across as like a genuinely nice kid. I say nice kid, I think he's like the same age as I am. But he seems like a nice guy. And he has made a couple songs, which I've been fine with. I know he did last summer. That was the first hint I had that maybe Shawn Mendes might be improving, and the first time I realized, wow, Camila Cabello is awful. But, hello? And then, of course, you also have, what's it called? You had, Nothing Holding Me Back. That came out last year, and that was a good song. I made that an honorable mention on my best list, and I saw a lot of people put it on their best list, which I can completely understand, because that was... Although I imagine a lot of that was, you know, kind of a beneficiary of lowered expectations, because Shawn Mendes actually produced some good work for last year. And again, I think last year, like, every bad artist kind of made a pact to come together and release something good for once. Because he had, like, Charlie Puth doing the same thing. That was the year Ray Sremmurd, like I mentioned before, put out Black Beatles, or that came out in 2016, but it was hit the 2017 year-end chart. But, yeah, you had a bunch of people like that. But at the same time, Shawn Mendes has also frequently made things like Stitches and Treat You Better and Mercy, which I cannot stand Mercy. I'm almost wondering whether I should have bumped that up to a place on my worst list over, what did I put at number 10? Mi Gente. Or Mi Gente probably would have been on there anyway, because Mi Gente is just like a baffling song to me. I probably should have put it on there over Starving, to be honest. Starving is like annoying, but that's just like so forgettable. I get some good jokes out of it. But anyway, so yeah, this could go either way. If I had to guess, I would say boring, but he's proven that he can, you know, swing the pendulum pretty far in either direction if he wants to. So, In My Blood by Shawn Mendes. See if he earns his place on the Council of Shawns. 3, 2, 1.
Help me. It's like the world chasing me. Sometimes I feel
Yep, this is sounding pretty similar to what my prediction was.
laying on the bathroom floor, feeling nothing. I'm overwhelmed and insecure. Give me something.
Okay, this had better pick up a little bit. I hope it doesn't stay this minimalist crap the whole time.
Just have a drink and you'll feel better. Just take her home and you'll feel better. Keep telling me that it gets better. Does it ever?
Does it ever get better indeed?
Help me. It's like the walls are caving in. Sometimes I feel like
I can already hear this blaring out of every radio in the country.
Someone help me. I'm crawling in my skin.
What is this reminding me of? It's reminding me of something.
Like giving up, but I just can't. It isn't in my blood.
Okay, it does pick up a bit, so it's good there at least. So, nice little melody right there. Basic, but nice.
Feeling anxious, afraid to be alone again. I hate this.
Not sure how I feel about that whole
Can't breathe.
draping himself over the beat thing that he's doing.
Somebody who could help me. It's like the walls are caving in. Sometimes I feel like giving up. No medicine.
I think out of the songs I've reacted to so far, the one this reminds me of most is Lights Down Low. If you remember what I thought of Lights Down Low, didn't hate it, but it was just like, really didn't take much from it. And this is better than that, but not by a huge margin or anything.
Help me. It's like the walls are caving in. Sometimes I feel like giving up, but I just can't.
Do you want me to say anything about this? It's like, this is pretty non-distinct. It does sound nice, I will say that. It's not like something with like Mercy, where that just like drowned me with how dull and droning it was the whole time it's on. This is at least like kind of sweet sounding, I guess. It's really not my thing. If you couldn't you couldn't pick that up, it's certainly not something I'd ever go out of my way to listen to. And if the radio latches onto this one, I have to hear it all over the place. There are worse things. In My Blood by Shawn Mendes. I would put my money on it being boring before I listened to it, and I would, if I had done that, I would likely have more money than I do right now. Not that it would be a lot of money, because those a Shawn Mendes song being boring, those are not exactly long odds to bet on. Alright, now this is kind of an interesting one. I knew that I was going to have to talk about all the Weeknd songs on the charts this year, which there are 4 of them in total, and of them this is the lowest charting one. And I don't really have much distinctive to say about any of them. I'll just give my overall opinion on the Weeknd on the next song, because I'm going to talk about the feature on this one, Gesaffelstein. Gesaffelstein, I don't know how you pronounce that. I don't really know who this person is in terms of like their greater body of work or anything like that, but I am interested because I just looked it up, and it turns out that this is the person who produced Black Skinhead by Kanye West. And Black Skinhead is one of my favorite Kanye West songs, which means it's one of my favorite songs by anybody. Black Skinhead is just like is awesome. As far as I'm a sucker for pump up anthems, always have been, always will be, and Black Skinhead is just like an incredible example of that, and a large part of that is down to the production. I'd say it's also one of Kanye West's best performances, but that production in particular is just like a drum pounding at full force. And so this guy working with The Weeknd, the guy who produced that working with The Weeknd, that is very, That is very interesting. So I'm looking forward to hearing this. I don't know what to expect because, again, I don't really know his body of work outside of just that one song. But that one song is so awesome that I am looking forward to it. I Was Never There by The Weeknd featuring Gesaffelstein. 3, 2, 1. On the dissonant synth, okay. I don't know if I've ever told you this before, guys, but I actually have perfect pitch, which, if you don't know, that means I can recognize notes without any points of reference, and I'm kind of hypersensitive to notes being in tune. And I'm not like... And I'm fine with dissonance as long as there's like something interesting about it, but if it's just over like a dull bass like that, then that's it's kind of distracting. Seems like this is an example of sad droning Weeknd and not fun party time Weeknd. So this is my lesser favorite of the two Weekends, but I'm fine with both of them. Again, I'll go more into detail about that next time, but alright. Not really getting a ton from this. Beat isn't really doing much for me. The vibe is kind of I do like the melody of it though, or not the melody, the harmonizations of the within the production. Yeah, this is a little sounds kind of like The Hills, but if you took all the interesting stuff out. I was kind of expecting more from this. I'm not gonna lie. As loath as I am to say that I prefer the Ray Sremmurd song over the Weeknd song. What's this? Is it just me, or was that like a really, really... It was like the slowest, most drawn-out key change I've ever heard in my life. I'm kind of at a loss from what to take from this. I feel like there are certain elements that I really should be liking in this. But I'm really kind of not taking much from it. This is certainly more interesting production than the first half, but to what end is my question. I would call this monotonous, but it is objectively not monotonous. There are many different tones going on here, and The Weeknd is exercising his vocal range. I like the second half of that better than the first, but I don't know. Yeah, that was weird. Not like horribly weird or anything. It was like kind of not sure what to take from that. Not sure what comment there is to be made about that. It was I'll just say that I don't foresee myself returning to this one ever. Okay, now that we don't have any producers to talk about, let's talk about The Weeknd himself and what my thoughts on him are. He's alright. He has a lot of songs that I really love, and a lot of songs I do not care about. One thing I have noticed about him is that a lot of my favorite stuff from him is the stuff that does not end up getting big. Which I know that's the same for a lot of artists because, obviously you have to... the songs that have the most commercial appeal to the masses are not always the most accessible. But for The Weeknd, it's kind of weird because the songs that I like most from him, I could definitely see becoming popular. I think it's just a matter of promotion. Like, I like, what was it? Can't Feel My Face. I like that one fine. Actually, now that I think about that, I do like most of his stuff. Like, The Hills. I love The Hills. I used to hate it, but it really, really grew on me in a big way. In the Night, that one was also really good. What was the other one? Hated Earned It though. Could not stand Earned It. So, yeah, he's I guess just who he is just like, I mean, he's basically just pineapple-haired emo Michael Jackson. So, the phrase emo Michael Jackson, you can kind of get a hint of the type of music he's going to make, and you can see how that's something that has the opportunity for a huge payout or huge crashes and burns. And I haven't heard like an excessive number of crashes and burns so far, so that's so I think that tells you about the general quality of him. Definitely, I will say, it may sound like I'm kind of shit-talking him, but he is someone who I would rather endorse than attack. Especially a lot of the stuff like Secrets and what was the other one? And False Alarm in particular. Secrets and False Alarm are probably my two favorite songs of his, besides maybe The Hills, because I do love The Hills. I typically prefer more like upbeat party Weeknd to down, depressing, dour Weeknd. The Hills is the exception to that, though, because of how I don't know what to say. It grew on me. We'll wait to the 2015s list to talk about that one. But for now, Wasted Times by The Weeknd. I don't know anything else about what this is, so let's just hear it. It's shorter than the last one, so that should be, should be interesting. 3, 2, 1. That's to sound like it's going to be dour again. Oh. Sounds like a film projector is playing in the background. Oh, don't do that. This is some interesting production choices. I'm not the only one hearing that film projector playing in the background, am I? No, that's definitely a film projector. It's very faint, and I am going to be muting the audio for this, so you may not be able to hear it, but go back and listen to it, the actual official audio. Definitely like this more than the last one, I'll say that much. Now thinking about The Weeknd, I've never really been able to understand much of what he's saying. He slurs a little bit, and his voice is a really high falsetto, which is not a great listening combination in terms of interpreting the lyrics. So that's why it's that's why I don't really analyze the lyrics that much in general, but especially for Weeknd songs. It's kind of a weird bottom to the track, but I'm enjoying it well enough. It's still so strange to say that I'm thinking that I like I'm liking that Ray Sremmurd song the best of all in terms of, as far as production goes. But again, that's just because I said that before. It's just because I'm a sucker for pump-up anthems. I'm trying to get the lyrics. this kind of sounded like a 2016 throwback hit, strangely enough. Because 2016 had a lot of music that sounded like this. Mostly for the worse, in my opinion. But this is like... Seems like it's taking the stuff that worked about that and bringing it back. Like the weird distorted vocals, the like droning bottom, the kind of disjointed bass lines. It's not really to my personal taste, but I can understand the appeal. Seems like I said it a lot, but it's true. There's a lot of things where I don't really, not a huge fan, but I can understand why other people like them. That like muted voice at the bottom of the track. It's like the one that's like whispering under his sing. That's very 2016 as well. That's definitely a film projector in there. I guess it was kind of trying to convey the sensation of memory through music, which is kind of a neat idea. It's a very neat idea, actually. I hope that gets a video released for it, because I would love to see what the music video for that looks like. But yeah, that was definitely liked that more than the last one, I'll say that much. That was interesting. That's like kind of the definition of a song where I'm like, glad I listened to it. Don't see myself returning to it a lot, but, you know, maybe a couple times. So, yeah. Wasted Times by The Weeknd. Not bad at all. Not bad.